a mic. I hate it because I speak so loud and then I hear myself. It's weird. Okay, so what I was saying is we've never done all these things, right? I've never had 1,000 minions to deal with. It's a very large team. It's over 1,000. I don't have an agenda for today. And it's embarrassing, but I figure I'll just tell you guys. So get it out of the way. So if I start rambling, somebody just go, Pepsi. Let's move on. Maureen's in here. She'll tell me. She's known me long enough. I won't kill her when she makes faces at me. What up? Do you have my stuff? Oh, I don't have. I need money for you. Hold on. My accountant is outside. The very handsome, good-looking, tall dude. Oh, you know what? Then you don't get your money. I love seeing you guys, though. Thank you. Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, so today when we have this meeting, there's all kinds of things going on. Obviously, there's tons of people here, tons of minions here, from every single department. And they're all having their individual meetings, and then I have my meetings with my minions, and everybody who wears a green shirt is mine. But the department minions, I lend out to the departments because I'm nice like that. And I say, the department heads say, I want to keep this person, I want to keep that person, and I say, yes. And then that person becomes a department minion, no longer having to report directly to me. They report to that department head. So that's the difference when people say, like, what's the I don't know if I'm a department head or not, or a department minion or not. Basically, if you have not heard from a department head besides myself, you're not, which is most of you. Some of you are, some of you aren't. Some of you have been doing this for a really long time. And I appreciate you guys coming out because I feel like you're supporting me when you come out, like every year. And I really appreciate that because it's very comforting to see the same people every year. Because when I look at you, you remind me of a story I need to tell or something that happened because I'll remember that year. I'll remember that Taylor's dad last year came and wanted to be a minion, and I was like, your son is an awesome minion, but I don't know who you are. And he was like, I have to use my son as a reference? Yes, you do. That's how I work, right? So I'm a horrible person. First, let's get that out of the way. I'm a horrible person. But I'm a walking Cards Against Humanity game. I am. I'm fair, though. You'll always know that. Most of you guys who came to the other training, I kind of explained my philosophy on managing on half Disney, half military. It's just how that goes. And the Disney part is mainly the customer service end of me. I'm very customer service orientated. I'm very high energy. And during the con, I'm not sitting for very long periods of time. And if I am, it's normally because I'm getting a massage, because I need one. But speaking of that, we are going to have massages in the layer this year. Sit-down ones, like we'll have a chair in there and everything. We have 2 masseuses who are dedicated to that, which is super awesome. They're not here, otherwise I would introduce them. They are doing this out of the kindness of their heart. The con is not paying them, but they will have tip jars. So please keep that in mind when you're if you need one. You're going to need one. Not going to lie, you're going to need one. Okay, so out of the people who are brand new, how many of you are full-timers? A fair few of you. So this is the part of the meeting where I threaten your lives. You are going to need to take a seat because you're too tall. You know that. I don't know what's wrong with you. You're always standing up. You're too tall. I can't see nothing. I have known that kid since he was like a baby. And now he's like a giant. But he's been with the con before we put our age cap on. So he's been with the con since he was 14. And it's been amazing to watch him grow up into this like amazing guy. He's like this man now. And I'm like, you can't be a man because you're a little kid. He doesn't care. He doesn't listen to me. He's like, whatever. But he has 2 moms at the con. I'm one of them. And it's a lot of fun. It is very amazing to watch that. I love my family. You guys become my family. Anyway, you full-timers, this is where I threaten your life and tell you that if you don't show up, I will hunt you down. Here's the deal. Here's why I say this. Last year, our full-timers not showing up on Saturday killed us. So you guys are all family. I want you to look at each other. Hi, how are you? Most of you guys don't know each other. When you don't show up, or at least, and I understand because life gets in the way. Keegan, are you going to find a seat, or are you just going to just keep roaming the entire time? But you guys all become a family, and what happens is so on Saturday last year, we had 40% of our people who committed to being volunteers not show up throughout the con, for the whole weekend, not just one day, right? That's still a lot, but that's normal, right? In the past, it's been like 50%, 60% the year before. This year, it was 40%. We get lower every year, which is a good thing. We want a downward trend on that. But attrition, is that the right word? Matriculation? Attrition. I never get that word right. I want you guys to know that right now. The words and things don't go. Words are hard for me. Swear words, not hard for me. Words and things are hard. So anyways, out of that 40%, 85% of those were full-timers. What that means is that my Saturday shift, my part-timers, most of them all went to full-time that day because they were not willing to leave knowing we were completely short-staffed. And it killed us. So here's what I ask full-timers. Complete and total communication. I get life's going to get in the way between now and then. Between now and then, 10% of you guys won't be here because life happens. That's just how our world works. I will not see 10% of you guys come con. Something's going to happen. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but something's going to happen. Are there literally no more chairs? If you have a chair right next to you, I need you to raise your hand. Okay, so you guys who are standing up, look at the hands that are, and take a seat. Don't worry, I'll wait. Right here, there's one right up here. There's one right back there. There's chairs up here, which I'm totally willing to give up. It doesn't mean that you're anything special. Just want to be really clear. But come on, I need everybody to take a seat because what's going to happen is the guy who runs this place is going to come in here and not see people in chairs, and he's going to ask you guys to leave. That's how it goes. That's how people do. Come on. Don't. It's okay. Barb, how many more people do we have to check in? Okay, and then we need to be done checking people in. You guys all need to come inside. No, but if they know me and they take my stuff, I will kill them. Yes. Overlord's rules. You guys who are here, I have seats up here. You need to take them. It's okay. It just doesn't, I won't do anything. It doesn't mean you're special. It just means you need to take a seat because I told you to. As the Overlord, I get to do that. Ooh, I like this. Can I move like this? Oh, stupid camera. Can I move? Will you move with me? Everybody, this is Zach and his girlfriend, Megan. Let me clarify that. This is Zach and Megan. It doesn't have to be his girlfriend. That's lame. That is a female AV chick. She's awesome. And during the other telecast, if you guys remember, you didn't see anything but me, or sometimes not even me because I moved too much. So AV was like, okay, we're going to cut that shit out now. And because you move too much, we're going to come and help you. So, anyways, full-timers, communicate clearly with us if you cannot come. As a matter of fact, from now on, if you guys send me an email saying that you cannot come, I need for you to make sure, hi, I'm a full-timer, or I'm a part-timer, I'm a single shifter, and I'm not going to be able to come to the show. Also, I need you to please sign your emails. So I don't know who you are, and I have 1,000 of you guys. I know maybe a third of you by name. Please don't make me guess, because it gets me so angry. You have no idea. Actually, I can give you an idea. Lauren will tell you, because I'm swearing at my computer. Words I can't say. Remember, words are hard. Okay, so all of my staff is now in the room, so I want to introduce them. So Barb and Lee are back there. Raise your hand. They are going to be your check-in people. So if you come in on Friday to check in, they will be checking you in the lair. Dave Holt, Scott Galvez is, both of them are on my core team. They do various tasks this year. They'll be they'll be on the crisis management team with me. But they do, throughout the year, they just basically make sure I don't kill people. No, they do a great job. They help a lot. And then, yeah, a few times. They know where all the bodies are buried. And then lastly, but not least, the guy who I literally could not do this without for many, many reasons. My beloved, the guy who said, I'm going to sacrifice my life and marry you, Lauren Sanford. He almost tried to die on me last month, and luckily I told him that it's my job, not his, to kill himself. So he's not allowed to do that. So unfortunately, he won't be at the convention center as much this year as he has been in the past, and that is because of his health. That needs to come first. I'm telling you guys all this because if you see him in the convention center before 1 p.m., it is now your duty to ask two things. One, why are you here? Two, how much did you sleep? If it's over 6 hours, he's allowed to be there. If it's under 6 hours, you have to tell him to go home, or you will find me. All of you have my permission to do that. Okay? He's been very sick, and his health is still not as good as it should be. So that's why I'm telling everybody I'm putting him on blast. I already told you I was going to do it. You'll get over it. I love that's love, ladies and gentlemen. Love. All right. So because I don't have an agenda and I'm completely winging it, let's talk about being a minion, because all of you guys are very new. First of all, you're going to wear a shirt that looks exactly like the green shirts. If you're wearing a green shirt, raise your hand. Yeah. So a green shirt is what they're wearing. See? It's green. It has a big, nice E on it, and it's got a cape on the back. That is your uniform. That is what you will be wearing during the con. The other thing that you'll be getting this year that is brand new are these really awesome badge holders with a really awesome lanyard that's attached to it. This, like we've talked about at the trainings, it's also got a really awesome clear pocket in the back, so you can put, we're going to have the Minion guidebook. We're going to have all kinds of stuff that you guys can put in there. You can put your money, your credit cards. You'll be able to attach a pin to this. You can definitely put your, pins and kind of swag up your lanyard if you want. You're not allowed to change this. Well, actually, you can't. So never mind. So this is what it looks like. It's super awesome. I like them. They're really snazzy. They say staff on them. It's cool. There's a few things though with that. On Thursday, hi JJ. On Thursday, I know that I said in the email that Thursday you were going to be able to come pick up your shirts and your badges. I know there was some confusion with this, so let me be really clear. That does not mean that that is the only day you can get your shirt and badge. It just means that this year we are going to open up the opportunity for you who are local to come and pick up your badge and your shirt on Thursday. I highly recommend this if you can do it. We're going to be at the convention center at the times that were specified in the email. I don't know what they are right now off the top of my head. They're in the email. Read your email. I probably will send out a reminder and put it on Facebook and the forums at some point. I don't know when. But I highly recommend that you do that, and that you, because what's going to happen is if you wait till Friday, there are 7. No, hold on, let me get this number. There are 895 of you, because that doesn't include the department minions. That is who I am in charge of. If 850 of you guys try to come in on Friday and pick up your badges and your shirts, everyone's going to be late, and we're going to shut down our convention. And then I'm going to get yelled at. I actively try to avoid getting yelled at, because then that just goes right down the chain. And then it's just angry overlord all day, and nobody wants that. So, Friday needs to be, or Thursday really, if you guys can make it. And I know I'm making it super inconvenient because I'm not allowing any of your relatives or people of that, like, sisters and brothers to come pick them up, or roommates or stuff like that. I need you to come and get it. Here's the exception to that rule. If you are a minor under 18. If you're a minor under 18 and your mom or dad comes in, obviously, we're going to be like, okay, cool. Most of you guys are not under the age of 18. If you don't work on Friday, then you don't have to worry about it. You'll come in on, so that is a great question. So I highly recommend you come pick up your badge and shirt if you are a full-timer, if you work on Friday, or if you have the time. The faster you can get that done, the better, because even on Saturday, you're going to be super busy. We are going to be super busy, and everything's going to be packed. So Saturday is a really hard day to check in because we're really busy. I swear I've been spilling stuff on myself all day. Do I have a water bottle? It's okay. I'm going to spill my water bottle all over myself too, so let's just keep spilling stuff. So I just recommend that. Really, trust me. If you can get down there, it'd be awesome. Okay, so the lair is located on the 3rd floor of the convention center in rooms 302 through 305. It is your area where you can go drop off your personal belongings. You have, like if you have backpacks and stuff like that, I highly recommend that you don't leave anything of large value in there. It is manned 24/7. Hold on. It is manned all of the hours of the convention. So, and even a couple hours extra. We probably open up the lair about 7 a.m., and we leave probably about 9 or 10, depending on what's going on that night. If anything gets left overnight, that's fine. But if anything gets left over on Sunday, we take it home or we leave it with the convention center. So just be really mindful of the stuff that you leave in there. I recommend not bringing anything of like if you have $100, you probably want to keep that on you. We've never had any theft in there or any problems like that, but it's just a good rule of thumb to keep your cash on you. You might need it. The other thing, too, is that we will have water in the rooms. We will have snacks. We will be providing you guys with vouchers for food. We will probably, I am going to designate about 10 minions a day to food runs. So if you want to get your food delivered to you at a specific time between the hours of 12 and 2, we will be able to accommodate that. Every day when you come in, there'll be a list of what's available to eat that day, and you can tell us that that's what you want. We will use your voucher to go and purchase the food, and then we will have it in the lair for you to come and eat when you get breaks. We are overstaffing between the hours of 12 and 2 so that we can give people breaks. It's typically part-timers will come in between the hours of 12 and 2 and go give full-timers breaks at that point. Part-time and single shifters are basically there for breaks this year in particular. That's what we're using them for. There's 730-something of you, so you will go out and give all the full-timers breaks because they're going to need it. Most of our full-timers work way over 10 hours. Not that I make them do it, they just do it without, I try to threaten all of you not to do it, but they do it anyway, especially this little one down here. When's the last time you sat down? I don't know. No, you don't. She's good at sitting down, but there's some of you who are not. Me. I don't follow my own rules either, so don't ask me about it. You're allowed to ask me if I've eaten. That's it. Otherwise, I don't follow my own rules because I don't have time to follow my own rules. But you guys do. You're not allowed to faint on me, pass out. You're not allowed to. If you faint on me due to lack of food or nutrition, I will take you out. because we provide everything for you. If you're a part-timer, you're hard up on money, you haven't eaten that day, getting lightheaded, you need something to eat, and you don't eat, you don't talk to us about it, and you pass out on me, taking you out. Doing something. It's going to be bad. So yeah, there's never a reason for that to happen. We have lots of things in place so that you never have to worry about that, okay? So say we all? I'm really picky about it, okay? That's why I really like to drill it home, because too many years have I heard my minions come back to the lair. They're tired, they're hungry, their stomach is upset, they have a really bad headache, they're crying because, I'm not kidding you, like I have a good group of minions that come and they're sobbing because the mental exhaustion of this con catches up with you at times that you just don't know it. And all of a sudden, you realize that you've been standing on the show floor for 16 hours smiling, nodding, greeting people, being nice, and then all of a sudden you realize I can't do this anymore. My body is shutting down for me, and we don't want that. So it's not allowed anymore. I'm really strict about it. When I see you, I will ask, when's the last time you took a break? If you lie to me, I'll know. I'm a mom, I know. So if you lie to me, I'll know. I'll know it, so don't even try. Be like, the last time I sat down was 10 hours ago, and I haven't peed in like 20 hours. Great. Get your ass back to the lair now. I'll send you back really fast. So just know you guys need to know your limits. You're all adults, even the teenagers. I would not allow you to work at this con if you weren't 16 or over, and my expectation of you is that you are adult enough to understand that you have limits. If you need your mom here to tell you how to do that, then you do not need to be here as a volunteer. I'm a mom of 3 sons. They're all really, really good boys because they have a really mean mom. You don't want me to be your mom. Trust me. I'm the last one because it's not fun. So take care of yourself. You're all adults. That's my expectation of you. You also have rights and you will not see me this way at the con. I will not be calm. I will not be happy. No, I'm kidding. I'm fine at the con. You will see me very tired. I will be very, very tired. I'll be running a lot. I won't be able to stop and talk to you. I have a few things that I want to say about that, though. If you really need to talk to me, this is something that nobody else can handle because you just need to talk to the Overlord. There are a couple things you can do. One, tell me that. Pepsi, I really need like 5 minutes of your time. Okay, that's going to stop me. One, you use my real name. That pretty much stops me. 2, go to Lauren or my staff and find them and say, listen, I have to talk to the Overlord. There's nobody else that I trust with this or whatever. Okay, because in the past I've heard things like, I had no access to her and she was always so busy. I'm never that busy for you guys. I am busy. I am running around the con like a chicken with her head cut off. That is very true, but I am there for you guys first. That's my job. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that there are ways to get a hold of me, because there are many times you're going to see me and it's going to be like a blur. And be like, hey, Pepsi, what's up? And be like, yeah. Like, you're not even going to hear me. I'm going to be so fast. I mean, I may not look like I move fast, but I move fast at the con. So, but there are ways to get my attention. Okay? So does that make sense to everybody? Please nod your head and say yes. Go ahead. Yeah, and you guys are all a family, so I expect you guys to do health checks with each other. If you guys are on the show floor together, or you guys are in a department together, it's okay to be like, hey, when'd you eat? I've been seeing your face too much. When's the last time you sat down? Some of you guys also will this is going to be a very sexist comment, but I'm a real person. Here's the deal, ladies. We are emotional creatures, okay? We tend to have more emotional breakdowns at this convention than any place I've ever been in my entire life, and I worked for Disney, okay? So here's what I ask. We're all here for each other. Mental health checks are really important. I ask that you not have a mental breakdown on my floor. Excuse yourself, please. We had a couple of them last year. I don't want them to happen again. I don't deal well with my mom button turns on real fast, and it's not a good switch to turn on because I'm not real sympathetic at that moment like I should be. I'm working on it. Lauren's much better at the sympathy part of it. Mine is get over it, get your ass together. Get it together. That doesn't work real well when people are in a sensitive situation, so heck no. So anyways, I just ask that everybody, this con, I'm not going to say this enough, this con, physically, some of you guys who are in athletic shape can handle this. You're still going to get tired. Mentally is what's going to hit you. And it's going to hit you when you don't even know it, especially if you don't do the very important things like eat your breakfast and sleep. Eating breakfast is the most important thing you could do during this con. I don't care I know McDonald's is gross for most of everybody, but man, their sausage McMuffins are delicious. Okay? So do something, eat something. We have donuts, those don't count. They might count for a 16-year-old because they can pretty much live on saliva. But that doesn't work for grown-ass people, okay? So let's eat something. Got to eat. We're going to have plenty of protein. Protein's really, really good. Start drinking your emergency today. That should be part of your daily regimen. And if you think I'm kidding, get through this convention and then see what happens the next day. You will come down with a very, very lovely case of con disease. Call it con SARS. It normally lasts about 2 weeks, and you'll be in the hospital. It's fun times, happy times. I had it one time, never again. That thing is nasty because you are literally touching 67,000 people. Somebody's got to have something, right? Hand sanitizer too. A lot of you guys have done these really nifty things like get these, who goes to PAX a lot? So you guys know, what are those things, those like utility belts? They look like fanny packs, but they're a lot cooler. They're like utility type thingies that you can put like water bottles and all kinds of stuff. They're not as tacky as tactical gear. They're for skinny people too. The custom made ones are for us big girls and bigger people. Because, the skinny people get all kinds of crap. We have to have our custom made. It's okay. I'm still going to eat my Big Mac. It's not going to stop me. I like my food. So all of those things are going to make sure that your health is really good at the con. Because I'm not kidding. Vitamins are really important. Vitamin C, bring a jug of apple juice or orange juice. Start drinking it at the con especially. So your health is very important to all of us, but it should be really important to you. And if you start taking care of yourself right now, you'll be all nice and whatever that word is. Whatever. I don't know. Start drinking water right now, too. Like, literally start drinking a gallon of water a day starting today. When you go home, just start chugging it. Reservoir is really good, but staying hydrated really is the key. If you come to the con, we've talked about this a lot, but I feel like people ask me this question all the time still. Is there going to be water? Yes. We will provide you water. However, water bottles are really expensive, especially those little plastic ones, to provide for 1,000 people. So taking one and reusing it all day is super awesome, and then getting one the next day is super awesome, but what's even better is getting your own and bringing it, right? Like a water bottle like that, or they have those paper-looking ones, or those like plastic, they're like flat. Yeah, true, because it's got a little Brita thing. I was like, don't fill the bathroom. It's kind of gross, but she has a little filter on it, so I get it. I'm from LA. We don't drink our water. We want to filter it like 3 times before we drink it. But so all of that is going to be good for you. Trust me. These are all the con do's and don'ts. The other thing, too, that I found out recently, good shoes are a really, really important part of this convention. I highly recommend you bring 2 sets of shoes, one that you wear out on the show floor and then one that you go home in. I also recommend socks, really, really good socks, thick ones or compression socks. Compression socks are really awesome for you because especially you're out on the show floor and photo ops where you're on concrete all day. You're walking back. You might not feel it then, but you will feel it when you go home and the next morning. Your feet are going to hurt. I also recommend going home and taking a nice foot soak. And you too, guys, okay? Man up and take a foot soak. If you're younger, your mom's got a foot soak, your dad's got a foot soak. It takes the edge off a little. Your feet are still going to be killing you. But it takes the edge off. Insoles are really good. The Scholl's insoles are really, the high arch ones for you who have a flat arch are really good. Or maybe it's the opposite. I don't know. I just know that my feet are messed up. And I have insoles. And so they help me. And I don't die. So good pairs of shoes, 2 pairs are good. A couple pairs of socks to come in is fine as well. You can keep all that in the layer. We're not gonna look at you weird if you have to change your socks in the middle of the day. We highly recommend it. Just bring a plastic bag because, nobody wants to smell that. Just saying. Maybe we're gonna have some Febreze in the layer too for those kinds of moments. The other thing that I highly recommend is showers. I know that this is common sense. People are looking at me like I lost my mind for saying that. It's not common sense for everybody. I'm specifically looking at the teenagers in the room. So this con, you to shower, which leads me to my next point. This con is a lot of fun. You guys are going to have a lot of fun together. And you're going to enjoy after con activities together. Some of them might involve going out and enjoying an adult beverage or 2, 5. All I ask is that you not wear your Minion shirt while you're doing that. We are very recognizable, even when we're wearing it when we don't have our show. And so it's really important that we have a certain kind of image, and that is not the kind of image I really want people having is, people throwing up in the alley because they've maybe had a bad piece of pie or something. So just really bring extra shirt if you're going to go out afterwards, and please use your best discretion. Some of you guys don't have any, so I'm giving you that discretion, telling you what you should do, which is do not wear your shirt. I frequent some of the various locations around the convention center after hours, and if I see you, I'll know, and I will say, "You're wearing our shirt. Is that a soda or is it a Jack and Coke?" So it's really important. We've had issues in the past. And so I just need, and I'm one of the biggest offenders of this, because last year I just would go straight afterwards, and I would forget, and then people would stop me and want to talk to me, and I kept going, why are people talking? I'm wearing my staff shirt. So it is really important that we have a certain image. So I just ask that you guys not wear that. Anyways, so there's a lot of the don't do's. The do-do's is have fun. Okay? This is a lot of fun. You guys are not gonna, something happens at this show that is very magical. I don't know what it is. I don't have a formula, and I don't even know how to quite explain what happens as soon as we open our doors. I don't know what it is. I've not been able to pinpoint that one moment that tells that person who's worked 10 hours already that they want to work another 6. I don't know what it is. I think it's each other. I think that's part of the equation. I think we put on a really good show. It's another part of it. But I also think that all of you guys have this huge heart to help, and it doesn't stop after the hours, right? So you've given us 8 hours, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm ready to give you another 8. I'm like, and I'm going to take it. I'm not going to lie. You're going to give me 8 more. I'm going to take it. But it's just something that happens. So, but you're going to have a great time, and that's part of it. You're having so much fun that you get caught up in the moment. So a couple things this year, especially for full-timers, something new this year. You guys are going to be able to wear your shirts if you need to go to a panel, or if you go to get your picture taken with a celebrity, or if you go and get a signature from a celebrity. What? Yes. Yes. Carl Urban. You know, I might need to go say hi to him. Maybe. Haven't decided quite yet if I want to grace him with my presence yet, but he might. I think he wants to meet me. I heard that rumor. Feel like maybe him and I need to have a moment alone. Let me. So some of you who are not assigned, it's not that you're not going to work as a full-timer. It just simply means that all of the slots were full, because the departments say, I need an extra 40 people. Or like celebrity, I need 75 people. Oh, okay. Let me just pull that out of my butt. And then I give them 75, and so that's full. That's closed. I closed it off. And now because I have to spread you guys out. You know, I can't give everybody. I can't give them all. Can't give them 75 good, like all of my amazing minions, or all of my minions that have been working for like more than a year. That's not fair. So I try to spread it out as much as I can, but and then all the teams fill up, and then I'm done. But I have more full-timers still. All that means is that haven't been assigned yet doesn't mean that you're not going to get an assignment. Part-timers typically, and single shifters, typically your role is to come in and break people out. You will get that assignment when you get to the layer. Sometimes they won't even have it yet. Sometimes you'll get there and they're like, please put your shirt on. We need you to go run up to show floor right now. Sometimes that happens. Hopefully this year it won't happen that much, but sometimes that happens. For the most part, it'll be a department says, I need to break out 20 of my minions. I need 20 more up. And we're like, all right, 1, 2, 3, and we just count them off. We count 20, you guys go up. That's how we do it for the single shifters and the part-timers. For some of the full-timers, we'll have that same role too. The cool part about having that role, because I know some people get a little worried of why they don't get assigned. The reason why I don't assign some of you guys is some of you guys are brand new. And the best thing I can do for brand new minions is to let them go to every single department. It's the best way to learn the con, and it's the best way to see the show, right? So if I send you to a department, you are stuck in that department all weekend. You're not going anywhere. So I normally try to assign that to the people who have been here for a little bit longer because they've seen the con. They don't need to see it anymore. They can be stuck in a department. You had a question. I'm sorry, you said parking? Okay, so the question. Right, so the question is about parking. I highly recommend that you carpool or take public transit. If you can't do either one, parking is located in the convention center. It's $22 a day. It's kind of steep. For a lot of people, that's a lot of money. So I always recommend, we don't provide parking. And we probably won't ever do that. So this lovely lady who just came in the black shirt, her name's Christina. She's kind of important. That's okay. So anyway, so that's the question. I really, really recommend that you guys carpool. When you post something on Facebook, like when you say, hey, I need a ride from X to Y, you guys need to also follow up with, like, get a phone number or an email. Because Facebook, the timeline goes by so fast that you don't see stuff. So I suggest if you're going to post it on Facebook, to make sure that as soon as you get that answer, follow up with them. Put it private. I would do a private message. Because you're not going to, a lot of you guys, it gets lost. And then all of a sudden, the next day, you guys bump it again saying, and already 3 people have answered your question already. So make sure that I really recommend you guys carpool. I cannot facilitate that for you because I just don't have time. And you guys are grown-ups, so. Oh, that's a good question. If you're off duty, can you come to the lair? If you're off duty same day, like so say you work from 8 to 2 on a Friday, and then afterwards you want to go play, yeah, leave your stuff in the lair, go play. If you come in, if you worked Friday and you want to play on Sunday, no. You come and you check in, you pick up your badge, but we don't keep any of your stuff in there because that's just for the people who are working at that time. Okay? Any other questions? I mean, you guys have a lot of questions, but I'm going to keep talking. You guys are going to have more questions. Okay, go ahead. Denise. Yes, gum is bad. And here's why gum is bad. Because you sound like a cow. And it's not appropriate to be talking to our attendees and sound like a cow. And it's not good customer service. Good customer service is having good breath, but not chewing like a cow in their face. And sometimes we do it on accident. We don't even know we're doing it. But it's just not, it's not hygienic either. But breath mints, yes. Or scope even. Have a little bit of scope. Did you have a question? Or you're just raising your hand? You're stretching. Awesome. And it looks like a hand raise? Gotcha. Great question. So the question is, if you pre-ordered your swag, when will you get it? You'll get it at the con. We'll probably have some of it available on Thursday. Some of it, depending on what we get done on Wednesday, because we also do have to do shirts and badges. But it'll probably, yes. We'll say yes right now. If that changes, you'll know when you come pick up your shirt and badge. Yeah. We definitely will have them available at the con. You'll be able to pick them up at the con if you bought stuff. So, I mentioned this at the beginning of the meeting, but it's in your email. I don't remember the times that we put. I sent an email out. Ooh, there we go. Pick up Thursday, 10 to 2 and 4 to 8. Thank you. It's okay. I got it, even with it going big every 2 seconds. Okay, so that's the layer. I talked about shoes. I talked about keeping yourself healthy. I talked about some of the stuff that our expectations out on the floor. A lot of you guys, how many of you guys went to any of the trainings? Any of the department trainings? Awesome. So what are some of the things we talked about? Let's do some interactive stuff. Let's talk about, what did some of you guys learn?
Blame the fire marshal for everything.
Awesome. Blame the fire marshal for everything. Lee.
Project, don't yell.
Projecting, don't yell. Yeah, so here's the thing about projecting, right? Hector, hi! Right, that's yelling. Hector, hi, is projecting. The difference is I can feel it in my throat when I scream. I can feel it in my core when I project. Ladies, we use our core way more than men do, so it's easier for us. But some men, if they do Pilates, totally use their core all the time. So for the most part, though, yelling, I cannot tell you how important it is to not yell. We know, and it literally sounds like fingernails screeching down a chalkboard. It is horrible to hear it at the con. I will know, and I will quietly and nicely as I possibly can, politely as I possibly can, tell you that you're yelling. Please stop. And if you do it again, I will remove you from that area. because clearly you're not ready for that area yet. So anyways, it is definitely you want to project. There is a big difference. This is a great place to practice. If you're a mom or a dad, you know how to do this really well. It's your inside mom-dad voice. That's what I can say. The inside mom-dad voice. The outside mom-dad voice, completely different voice. That's mostly yelling. Yes.
I also know from last year that I was just projecting very quietly, but gently. And one of the people, one of the attendees was so happy. She's like, "Thank you for not yelling." I just want to be here for you guys. I'm here to have fun. I'm not here to, cause the shouting match.
Right, and so I think that the one thing that I get from that is really we're there to put on a show, right? We are there to make sure that our attendee has a great experience. That's what Minions do. That's our job. That song from Beauty and the Beast, "Be Our Guest"? It's totally what I hear every time I'm on the show floor. Be our guests, put our service. I can do the whole song right now. Would you like me to do it? I can have people perform. Where's my helpers? I'm totally kidding. I'm not doing that for you guys. If you were at Disneyland with me, you totally would have seen me singing A Whole New World, and you missed it. It was amazing. I was crying, and Lauren was telling me to shut up. You are not Jasmine. Stop singing. Okay.
You're my Jasmine.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So it is, but that is the thing. We are definitely providing a service for them. So our job is to be courteous and polite. There are moments where where you're not going to want to be polite. And that's where that whole mental part of what I'm talking about comes in. That's why you're mentally exhausted at the end of the day, because you're constantly on your game. You have your game face on, and you're doing your thing all day. It's all day long. So you're going to be tired at the end of the day, mentally. What up? We talked a lot about that at the trainings. Said that a lot. Is your phones are there for emergency purposes only, and should only be out when there's an emergency. Or sometimes it's appropriate to have them out, but for the most part, you are unapproachable. You guys all know what's another way to be unapproachable.
Arms crossed.
Right. What's another way? There's several ways.
Looking at the ground.
Right. Head down, looking at the ground. There's several ways you can present yourself as non-approachable, and that's one of them. Arms crossed, like this. This is another one. I totally see people sound like this all the time, drives me nuts. That's another way. Like you're bored. Why was anybody going to want to come talk to you? They're not.
Yeah, question for the celebrity minions. I know last year because of Patrick's Stewart, we had the rule about the whole for the guests cell phones thing. Is that rule going to still be applied where if you're going to have for the guests have service, it needs to be face down?
We need to encourage our guests up on the 6th floor to in the celebrity area to not take pictures with their cell phones or cameras. Yeah. And if you are a minion up in celebrity ops, they will go over those rules with you of what they specifically want, specifically don't want. All right. Yes. Oh, good. Good. Yes. So when we're done here, because I have a few more things to say, when we're done here, for those of you who did not get your picture taken before this meeting, please go do so at the designated camera photography areas. These are for internal use only. We're not going to sell them or put them up on Facebook or anything weird like that. So the photographers are over there, like right when you were coming in, that big long hall, they're down at the very end of that. Yeah, we had them here. This bottlenecks too much, so just didn't work very well. Okay, I saw a hand. So in a few days, if not, in a few days, Monday, I will be sending out the PDF version of the program. In that program are detailed maps of the show floor and where particular bathrooms are, and stuff like that. Know where they are. Know this program. We're giving it to you 2 weeks before. We've never done that before. You're going to have plenty of time to study it, look at it. Things are going to change between now and then, but you will have ample opportunity to look at it and know, at least have a working knowledge of what it is. Don't forget that on Thursday, the 27th, right? Thursday, we will be doing tours before. We have some training sessions on those days for our out-of-towners who have never been here, never been to one before. Those of you that know, the trainings are the same, right? So if you've been to one, you don't have to come to another. I love seeing you, but I also feel like, I like the questions and everything, but if you ask me the same question like 5 times, I feel like maybe we're miscommunicating, and I'm not speaking the right language. So go ahead.
Have they fixed the Wi-Fi since last year? A lot of people wanted to use the free Wi-Fi, but it was really, really bad.
So do you have a working knowledge of how Wi-Fi works?
Yeah, I live in
Right. So my background is in networking. That's what I do for a living. So here's the deal. When you put 67,000 people on a network, it's going to be slow. Sorry, I don't care how many access points they put in there. I don't care what kind of relay points they put in. It's never going to be as fast as it is as if you're at home or using your regular 4G, right? There are parts of the convention center that are just straight dead zones. There's nothing getting through there. It doesn't matter what they put in there. There's way too much concrete, way too much wall. There's just too much in there. Nothing's going to get through. So it's just a dead zone. So while they probably can bump their signal up as high as they can, the Wi-Fi is going to be as good as the convention center wants it to be. We have to pay for it, and we don't. We have our own individual Wi-Fi setups, but we would have to pay for that, and it's extraordinarily a large amount of money. So it's whatever the convention center is willing to provide for people that come into their center. Yeah. Yeah. It's very, very expensive, so we don't buy it.
Do we have an estimate time for when the guidebook version of the pamphlet's going to be?
So there's not going to be a guidebook.
Okay.
Right? Are we doing guidebook? Oh. Okay. Okay. So there's going to be a variation of guidebook. It's just not going to be called guidebook. It's going to be an independent something. We don't rely on it mainly because of what we just talked about. Guidebook is based on you have to have a strong internet connection, and unless you are downstairs at the front of the convention center, your signal isn't going to be very strong. So we highly recommend having your program on you the whole time. Here's another thought. Do not give your program to attendees. Ask them for their program. It helps them understand that they need to keep it on them, right? So typically they're like, do you know where such and such is? And you're like, do you have your program? Let's take a look at that. And then they will either say yes, or they will say no. If it's a no, you can use yours, but do not let them have it. Now, if they're like, can I please have this? It's going to be really hard for you guys to say no. I get it. But if they're close by a place, like if they're close by 4A where we have the programs, you can say, you know what, it's just right over in 4A. I need to keep this for myself. But you can get them right over here in 4A. If you're way up in panels or someplace far away, maybe if you want to give it away, you can. But I highly recommend not giving it to attendees. Yeah, so it's just a good rule of thumb to help with our attendees remember that they need to keep it on them, on their person. Go ahead. Okay, so that's a two-part question. The first question is the media, as far as, television stations and such like that, how are we policing them? We're not. They're already self-policed by our convention staff already. They know exactly where they're supposed to be at when they're not, when they're supposed to be. We're really, really strict. We don't give out media badges to just anybody. They go through a pretty rigorous process to get them, and they know exactly where they're supposed to be. You should not see them out on the floor unless they're supposed to be. And it's not a judgment call for you to make. If you have a question because something looks really super weird, again, go to your department head or wherever you're at and talk to them about it. And they'll probably say, yeah, they're supposed to be there, don't worry about it. Who? Yeah, that's for you guys to talk. Whoever, if you're in celebrity, that's celebrity ops. They have that handled. They'll be able to talk, figure it out. And then the second part of your question is how to use your voice to control a line. So again, like we talked about this at our trainings a lot. But projection is really important. But the other main key thing in helping people create a line is consistency. Line control is all about being consistent. Because what's going to happen is, and I'm going to use the back row as a big example. If they're a line, right, so say they're a line, and all those people are sitting down right now. They're not supposed to be sitting down. They need to stand up. You guys don't have to stand up. Well, they're supposed to be standing up. The funny part about it is you're going to turn your back, and 15 seconds later, they're going to sit back down. So the thing about a line is helping to be consistent, and that's a middle of the line person's job. But a lot of it is you don't. We have a pretty strict policy about not touching our attendees. You don't. There's never a reason to touch our attendees. Never. I mean, sometimes by accident you're going to touch people. Some of them will be like, "Oh my gosh," and they'll like grab you and give you a hug, and you're like, "Whoa." Personal space. They get really happy. Like a couple times I did something for an attendee, and they were just so happy that they had to give me a hug. And whoa, I'm not a hugger. What are you doing? No, I'm kidding. It was fine. But it's just there's never a reason to touch our attendees. So line management really never gives way to touching attendees. You really, unless there are times where they're like, the attendees, the line is 2 people deep, and it's only supposed to be a single file line, and it would be appropriate for you to use your body to kind of be like, okay, I'm right here, and you're standing in my space. What does that mean? You need to file a single line. That's what that means. You're in my space. You have to leave. You don't do that, but but you know what I mean. I mean, for most of you guys, if we don't have the time right now to kind of go into the details of that. I highly recommend, if you have not watched them, to go back and watch some of the trainings that we've done in the past. We talk very, very specifically on line management, crowd control, crowd management, and customer service. But we don't have time to do that today. So, but we can. Those are the little things that I can tell you about that. Okay. Next question, if there are any more. Okay. Go ahead. Okay, right. That's a great question. So day of con, like when you come and check in, what's the best time to get there? Which door do we go through? If you already have your shirt and badge, you will wear to the con your shirt and badge will get you entry in. Nobody's going to tell you anything. You just come in, you come into the lair. We will have signs on our doors which way is in. You'll see, we'll have the doors open. You will check in at the lair unless you're a full-timer who's already talked to me on Thursday and like, hey, I'm in the photo ops department. I picked up my shirt and badge, and I know where I'm going on Friday. You don't have to come check in on me or check in with me. I don't want to see you. Go. You know where you're going. But if you don't have an assignment yet and you need to be assigned, you will come. Here's what I recommend. Your shift starts at 8, which if you're a full-timer, that's when it starts. 8 o'clock on Friday morning. If you start at 8, I highly recommend you get your butt down to Seattle at 7. Does that suck? Yes, because that's early in the morning. But you're going to have a great time, so don't worry about it. The sleepy will only last a little while, and then we'll wake you up. Don't worry. But I recommend, the reason why I recommend 7 o'clock is because it's going to take you 15 to 20 minutes to find parking, because most of you guys are going to be really stubborn and try to find free parking, and then you're going to realize no free parking exists, and you're going to have to park in the garage. And that's going to take about 20 minutes for you to figure that out. And then you're going to probably want a cup of coffee, so you're going to stop at Tully's or Starbucks because you're tired. That's going to take another 10 minutes. And by the time you hit the layer, it's 7:30 or 7:45. That gives you 15 minutes to check in. There's already going to be a line outside the door. So I've done this enough that I understand your guys' little mannerisms and how it works. That's how it works. So I recommend you getting there between an hour to 45 minutes before your check-in time. It's not always going to work like that. Life gets in the way. Saturday, if you are working in the afternoon, good luck to you. And I'm not kidding about this. Last year and the year before, they shut down parts of the streets. You couldn't even get off one of the exits. I don't remember what exit you couldn't. It's like 7th Avenue you couldn't get off on. They cut it off. They shut it down. There's just too many people coming into Seattle on a Saturday. Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy things going on that weekend. I don't even want to talk about it or think about it right now. Just realize that getting into downtown Seattle is always a joyous occasion. And prepare for the joy.
Okay, if you're one of the afternoon shifts, are you still wanting us here at 8 o'clock in the morning to check in?
No.
Okay.
No, you don't have to be here. I just recommend, Saturday is going to be the worst day, okay? It's because there's going to be a ton of people trying to get into downtown Seattle for not just our show, but whatever else is going on. So all of the public transportation is going to be packed. All of the parkings is going to be packed. It's going to be very busy downtown. So if you're working in the afternoon, and afternoon means past 11 a.m., it's going to be very challenging to find any sort of parking or anything like that. So I highly, highly recommend you figuring out what kind of public transportation can get you to downtown. It's cheap it's $5 round trip, $5.50 round trip to take the link rail. If you live in the South End, you can park at the Tukwila station or at the airport. I live in Federal Way. Fine, park in Tukwila. Take the link rail in. Right. Joy. All the joy. So yeah, if you're working the afternoon, good luck to you. But again, you're prepared for it because I've given you 2 weeks advance notice. No excuses. But it is one of the reasons why we lose a lot of people on Saturday. That is one of the high-rated reasons. Hopefully this year we won't lose too many of you guys. Okay? Any other questions? No more questions? Go ahead, JJ. I'm awesome? Oh, okay, that one. I did mention that. I recommend at least 5 hours a night. And I know that it's a low number. Some of you guys are going, what? I sleep like 10 hours a night. Not this weekend, you don't. It's going to hurt. But again, get that time, just eat. You will be fueled by a lot of stuff. The adrenaline will kick in and you'll be fine. But you won't be sleeping a lot. At least get your 5 hours. Not the energy, but get your 5 hours of sleep. Okay, go ahead.
Quick announcement, they're not allowing us to take photos down in the area we were originally at. So as soon as you walk out of here and go around the corner, you're going to see our two photographers out there. You just kind of line up, and we're going to try to move people through as fast as we can because it's going to get...
If it gets too bad, we're just going to, some of you guys, we're going to have photographers at the convention center, at the con too, in the layer. So if it gets too late and you're like, you know, I don't want to, forget this line, screw it, I don't want to wait in it, that's fine. Go ahead and, if you don't want to do that today, we'll have photographers at the convention center. You can do that. We'll have them on Thursday, and we'll have them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Go ahead. No. Yeah, that's only I can do that. Well, it kind of depends. It can't be like photoshopped, like I don't recognize you photo. It has to be, and if you're gonna do that, please add your name. I mean, it makes sense. The question is, can you email me a photo of you? Maybe. Go ahead and try, and if I don't recognize you, I'll be like, yeah, no, that doesn't work. You'll have to take a picture. Just make sure your name is on there, and that'll be fine. So it's for internal use. In the past, what happens is a lot of departments, you get sent to a department, and the department's like, that guy was really awesome. What guy? And they don't know. And so this year, and then in the future, we're going to try to collect them because hopefully in the future, our goal is to have the software so where these badges get printed with your picture on it. So if you go forward with the con and you're here next year, then you won't have to take your picture again. We'll already have it. So it is for internal use only. We don't give it to anybody. No. No, I can't. No, I'm kidding. Our hat policy is that you can wear hats. Please make sure that they have no offensive words on them. For gentlemen and ladies that like to wear ball caps, please no wearing them to the side. They either need to be in the front or the back. Otherwise, you are free to wear hats. Have fun. I'm wearing my tiara. Yay! It's a Wonder Woman tiara, too. So it's not just a regular tiara.
For people that need CPR certification, was there additional talk we were going to have about certain parameters of safety?
If you need CPR training because you're in the kids area, that's what they're talking about. Calm down, everybody else right now who's thinking, oh my God, I don't have CPR training. What is going on right now? We will be in touch with you.
Yeah. I already got my CPR. I'm more wondering, knowing the further down the line who to contact.
We will be.
Get shockers and things.
Yeah, that won't even be part of it, but we will be in touch and we will talk to the people who specifically need to know that information. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, most of you guys added that to your applications, but yeah, going in the future, not now, but next year, that is information that, sure, and we'll be sending out something inviting you back. Those of you who get invited back, when you get invited back, we'll be asking for that information at that time. Yeah. How many of you guys liked being invited back and not having to fill out another application? Yeah. I don't care. No, I'm kidding. Okay. So what he was asking was if you're CPR certified, do I want to have that information? And the answer is yes, but not right now. Because I had to make another rule for my inbox, and I don't want to do that. No, I'm kidding. Just as I don't need it now. Okay. Any more questions? Seeing that there are no more questions, thank you guys for coming and putting up with me for a couple hours while I don't have an agenda, which is so disgustingly rude of me. Please, very gently, politely, and without trampling each other, exit the doors. If you have any questions for me, I'm here. We have another training. Actually, I've got an hour and a half, or an hour and 15 minutes. If you guys